Hi, this is Natalie Rydstrom from SBR Picks. Now it's that time of week where Lee Phelps and myself get together to discuss the major football headlines of the week and see how they may or may not affect the betting market and if there's a chance to make a bit of cash along the way. Now, David Moyes is back in the headlines, and as such, the odds market have set up special odds for the sacked Manchester United boss. He is now managing La Liga team Real Sociedad, which came into effect November 10th. Now, the first market I like is, will he be unbeaten in 2014? And that's priced 6.5. Lee Phelps.
Yeah, I mean, it's not long to go, is it? I think there's 6 games left for in La Liga. I think they've got 1 cup match as well, so it's worth checking out if it includes the cup match. But I think that's a definite play, Natalie. I think he could do that. You know, this is a team who've been in bad form, but look at who they've beaten. They've just beaten Atletico Madrid, and the other team they beat was Real Madrid. Now, you know, there must be something about this team. Obviously, they've got good players in there. You know, look, wherever Moyes has been, he's been a defence-first kind of manager. You know, he's a very solid team ethic. Make sure you defend very well. He used to get quite a lot of draws when he was at Everton. So, you know, you don't need him to win every game in this run. And I admit, a 6-game unbeaten run isn't easy. If you look at the opposition, Natalie, there's not a lot there, is there? There are some good teams, obviously. But I just wonder, obviously the players have to have a lift from David Moyes going in there, otherwise it's not going to work. But he comes in with them just having beaten the champions. There'll be a lot of goodwill around. You know, I think although, you know, he's from a Premier League, so he's different. Obviously, the kind of language barrier might be a bit of a struggle for a little while. But I honestly can see that happening. Well, I mean, even if it doesn't, I think it's a good price anyway for it to happen, and it's going to give you a real interest for the rest of 2014. But don't expect it to be easy. Don't expect them to win every game. I think we could see a few draws from David Moyes before they really get going.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that his time at Manchester United may affect, you know, the players, you know, how the players feel about David Moyes joining as their manager?
I don't know really. I mean, because, you know, I think most footballers realise that some managers come in and the place doesn't fit. I mean, to be fair to him, if you look at the comparisons between where he was right now and where Louis van Gaal is, he's actually got a better record than Louis van Gaal and hasn't spent a fraction of the money that Louis van Gaal spent. So, you know, who's to know what David Moyes would have done over the course of a few years at Manchester United? I think his record at Everton is the one that to be fair to David Moyes, is the one that he really should be judged on. And it's a very similar job. You know, Real Sociedad aren't one of the big boys anymore. They once upon a time they were, but they want to get back up to that place, back up to being, you know, a fashionable team, a cool team, if you like. And you know, and David Moyes took Everton back to kind of, you know, Champions League football and challenging for things in the Premier League. So I think he's a good fit, and yeah, I think the players will take to him.
Yeah. What about, obviously they will meet Villarreal at home. I personally can see that that's where they're going to hit their hurdle. Can you see them beating Villarreal at home?
Maybe not, but again, the draw would do, wouldn't it? You know, you don't have to win every game. The draw would do. I mean, look, you know, if you have this bet now, and there's, you know, and you get going, and you think, oh, wow, we're onto something here. Then in the game where you think they might trip up, you could always have a bet on the team who you think might trip them up. You could always have a bet on Villarreal, and if Villarreal beat them, you still end up winning that bet, don't you? At least. So there are ways of playing it as long as you get off to a good start with a bet. I think it's decent.
Mm-hmm. One of the bets I do like actually is Moyes to be in charge at the start of next season, but that's low. That's 1.3. Do you think it's incredibly possible that he will remain to be their manager next season?
Yeah, I mean, it is different. I mean, I have been thinking in the back of my mind. There was an interview with Steve McLaren this week about when he went to abroad and managed after the England job. He fell out of favour and went abroad, and he said it took him 6 months to really feel like he was part of the club. The language barrier, the fact that the culture was different, and you know, wherever he went, the language was a problem. The players didn't necessarily know his style, didn't know their style. So it may take a while. He needs to get off to a good start. That's pure and simple. If we get around the other side of Christmas, if we get to the winter break, for instance, then you know, it could be tricky, to be honest. You know, I mean, he might not last too long, but I think he'll do okay, and I think he'll still be there come the start of next season.
Well, Real Sociedad, they're currently in the relegation zone. If you want to bet Moyes to be relegated with Real Sociedad, that's priced 26. Is that worth at least a consider, or can you see them making it out of the relegation zone and into safety?
Yeah, I think they'll stay clear of that, to be honest with you. I mean, they're also 2 to 5 to finish in the top 10. You know, very, very short prices to finish in the top 10. Like I said, look at the teams they've beaten. You don't beat those teams. It's not a fluke beating the European champions and the La Liga champions, is it? So they will pull clear, I think, and I think there are much worse teams in the division than them.
What other markets do you like, Lee?
There's just one other, which is a big price. It's just a little bit of a flyer. He obviously had Marouane Fellaini, the Belgian player, at Everton, and played really well for him. Really liked Marouane. He openly said how much he liked him as a player. Signed him for Manchester United. Hasn't really worked out for Fellaini. The fans haven't really taken to him there. He's had a couple of good performances. If he's allowed to leave Manchester United, David Moyes to sign Marouane Fellaini in the January transfer window, 26. Big price for a player he's openly said he likes. And if he identifies that there might be a room for a physical player of his stature, then that might be worth a little look. 25 to 1 for him to sign him in January. Big price.
Do you think Fellaini will, though, make the transition from Manchester United to Real Sociedad?
He doesn't look very happy when he's playing. Whenever he's interviewed, he never seems that happy. He's just started to get back into the team, of course. But you wonder if he's got back into the team because they haven't got many other players at the moment. You know, he fell out of favour early in the season. He's had a few injuries. Just hasn't really got going, I don't think. It's hard to know what Van Gaal thinks of Fellaini. I've looked around and he's never given a negative. So, like I say, it might not happen. But at the price, it doesn't have to be a big bet to have a little bet on that. It's a bit of a fun one.
Yeah, of course. The price is very tempting. Lee Phelps, thank you for joining us today.
Cheers.
The SBR network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.